Love and light, folks. Let's talk about a tough one today. Tough one to get the mind around, and that is this thing of death. This thing of death, and probably everybody that's hearing this, and 99% of everybody else that's out there would say they believe in death. You believe that you're supposed to age rapidly and die off in the course of 60 or 70 years. And you can say that you believe this because you can watch this happening around you. And so we say it's natural. We say that it's natural for eternal, conscious, sentient beings to die. But I'm here to say it's not natural. We did not incarnate into these vessels to live for a few years and then die. And that's it. For a lot of people, they think that that's it. So they deny their former lives and they deny their future lives. And for whatever reason, we in this realm are here for karmic reasons, meaning what you did in your last life prepared the groundwork for this one. And whatever you're experiencing in your life this time is connected to what you did in your last life, and based on the low density that we all found ourselves in here in this realm, we must have made some pretty big mistakes. In the last life. And we must have not laid very good groundwork in the last life to end up in the density that we ended up in this life. And for those of you and those of us that have struggled immensely in this life, but haven't, let's say, had a disastrous life, meaning you didn't get caught up in a bunch of just utter craziness, whatever it may be, drugs, robbing, killing, murdering, raping, whatever, that kind of stuff, which would be evident that you're just in a total disaster. Your life's a total disaster when you're violating other people's free wills and you're stomping around as an out of control ego, creating chaos, crazy making. But a lot of us have struggled in this life, and we weren't crazy makers, but yet we still have struggled immensely trying to get our bearings, trying to figure out who and what and where we are and what to do about it. And all of it relates to your beliefs. All of it relates to your beliefs. And not what you say you believe, but what you actually believe. See, the higher self knows what you really believe, regardless of what your ego or your mouth might say. And the quantum field is going to respond to that. The law of attraction is going to respond to that. What's that? That which you really believe. All right, and so most people really believe in death. Most people really believe that you age quite quickly now. I mean, we've been told, reminded, that in times past, lifespans were much longer. So what has happened? Other than some obvious things we could just throw out there and say, well, it's more toxic now. But then again, we have supposedly better health care now in some regards. In another sense, you could say, well, maybe we don't because we got away from nature more and more and more until we became dependent upon the matrix and its system of health and health care. But the point of all of this is that you created your beliefs. And we all, because we're taught this at a young age, we all created the belief within our own selves that you get a little while to live, then you start aging, then you fall apart, and then you deteriorate, and then you die. But I'm here reminding you, the alien within is here reminding us that that is a belief system and that the quantum field is going to work according to your belief system, meaning what you really believe. You could have a belief system, let's say a religion, but not really believe it, not really truly believe it, and the quantum field's not going to respond to that at all. That's simply for your intellect. That's simply for your ego. So if we can reprogram this intellect and its believing and believe and know and remember that eternal, conscious, sentient beings did not incarnate into this realm for the purpose of living for 60 or 70 years and then deteriorating and falling apart and dying. Only to what? Do it again. And again. And again. And again. Why? Why does it keep cycling? Why does this keep going on this way? Because this is all a test. You're meant to ascend. That's how you leave here. You don't leave here in a coffin. You leave here in your body, 100% whole, completely healthy, bursting with power, bursting with energy, and unstoppable. If you could but believe it, or remember it. Everything they've got us doing in this realm is based on false beliefs. Aging and dying in 60 or 70 years is a completely false belief. So until we regain our consciousness, our higher consciousness, until we rediscover our higher self, until we embrace the alien within, this cycle will go on. And it has gone on. And we're at a weird juncture here because the split within the self is between ascending, leaving this cycle, becoming the higher self incarnate fully, manifesting the gifts that come with the higher self, the abilities, or remaining the lower self, remaining in the intellect and the ego, and continuing to believe that this is life, that this is normal, that you incarnate in, you live for a while, you chase the matrix, you're indoctrinated by the matrix, you build your belief system based on the matrix, and so you've never even built the proper belief system. In other words, you've never even believed what your higher self believes and knows. Your higher self knows that this is right, knows that this is true, knows that you're not supposed to be deteriorating and dying at a quicker and quicker rate, and that you will figure out less and less each time. And whatever nefarious things are happening in the realm to keep us cycling like this and getting nowhere and actually becoming less conscious each time, because the quicker you die, the less you're going to remember, the less you're going to figure out. But thankfully, a great awakening is happening. The event within is happening. And people are starting to question everything. And I'm not here to debate anything or say who's right or who's wrong, because it matters not what you think about who's right or who's wrong. It's a matter of, are you right or are you wrong? And you're only going to know and understand and figure out if you're right or wrong based on going deep within yourself, opening that heart portal as wide as you can and streaming in the higher self, and then reflecting back out the higher self, and coming to realize that everybody that you encounter, everybody that you come across, is a reflection of you. See, if thoughts and beliefs create our realities, then the reality that you've experienced is one that you created, and you did it based on your beliefs, and the quantum field worked with you based on your beliefs. And so you might be preparing to die. You might be getting older and saying to yourself, well, I'm approaching that time where I better start seeing all the manifestations, and they've got all these fancy names like Alzheimer's and this and that and the other. And those things work because people believe them. But what would happen if we stopped believing that? What would happen if we started believing what our higher self already knows? And that's that we did not come here to die. We came here to reach an apex. And when we reach that apex, we've gained all that we can gain from this realm, this experience. And then we ascend on, and we take the body with us. We make that move when we choose to make that move. We're not waiting for external things like diseases and sickness and accidents and all these other things to take us out of this realm into the next realm. But what if you just could consciously know when it's your time because you reached your apex, you gained everything here that you could gain, and now you're ready and you've laid the groundwork for the next life. You've got the beliefs square. You've squared the circle. And so you could move on in the same way that you would move on, let's say, from one job to another job, a lower job to a higher job, right? What if we could move on like that? What if we could become so conscious that we remembered that we can shift timelines? And again, everybody's in this realm, in this reality, the lower world, the lower self, because of karma. So you're here because you did not understand something in your last life. You're here maybe because you were a total piece of shit in your last life and you're having so much struggle in this life, you think, what the hell? Why? And you don't ever relate it to karma. You don't ever get to the place where you have something of your memories. You don't ever get to where you can remember what I'm talking about right now and realize that you are exactly where you are based on your beliefs and your actions. And your beliefs and your actions are tied to former lives, very much the life before this particular life we're in now. And you're getting ready and preparing the way for the next life in your next incarnation. If you don't ascend, you'll be here in the lower world trying again to wake up, trying again to remember. Or you could ascend. And that is the master's graduation. That is when you are given the title of an ascended master. But see, no death is required for that. You're to become an ascended master now. In this life. Haven't you dealt with your karma enough that you're ready to move on from it? Are we ready to move on and be our higher self and make that transition when we choose to, consciously? And if you don't think you can halt your aging process, that's a belief. If you don't think that you could even reverse your aging process, that is a belief. If you were expecting to be dead at 60 or 70 or 80, that is a belief. And if you could truly believe that you're going to live for 200 years, let's say, you got that belief and grabbed hold of it with all your might and knowing, you would find that you could live to be 200 years. Now, how is that possible? Unless what I'm saying is true. And you might, again, the intellect may want to say, give me proof, give me proof. I'm telling you, folks, you have to know this stuff before you ever get any proof. See, the knowing, the remembering manifests the proof afterwards. You have to move first. all his friends.